Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and the second that I did my video this morning, I had put, I was showing how some of the people like, I think it was Dark Defender were maintaining their targets. There are some people out there in the crypto world that the second that they have a down week in their cryptocurrency, all of a sudden they declare that you shouldn't put prices in videos. That is way out of bounds. You can't do that. Well, guess what? The digital asset investor does not lose his conviction or the knowledge of what he owns because the market goes down for 1 week. And if you get depressed that quick, then there is something wrong on your end, not on my end. I have a belief in what we're in here. I believe that it's going to go to $10 and beyond. I wouldn't be here and wasting my time if I didn't believe that. I know exactly what I own, and I am not... my emotions are not swayed by a down week, and I've been through many of them where we go down 30 to 50%. It's happened many a time. And guess what? I don't quit. I'm here because I believe in what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing, and I believe in XRP and where it's going to go. And I believe it's the greatest digital asset ever created. So no, when anybody out there that has a problem with prices or anybody that's thinking there are the whole nature of where we are crypto is one of the most speculative assets that I have ever invested in. This is one of the most speculative industries that you have ever been around. Okay, so these people that in crypto land that say, oh, you can't speculate. I've always thought that's the most insane thought pattern ever created, because here you are in the most speculative asset class ever in my entire investing lifetime. This defines speculation. Okay, so the idea that someone who thinks that they're the police for everyone are supposed to tell everybody, the free speech police. They're supposed to tell everybody, oh, well, you can't talk about this. You can talk about this, but don't talk about this because you might offend someone. And please don't talk about speculation. You can't speculate here, even though we're in the most speculative asset class probably in the history of the world. But don't speculate on anything else. What in the world? There's some people out there that need to grow up, folks. It's time to grow up. I mean, it's really, you know, I've been around for a little while, and I see stuff like that, and every once in a while I'm like, one flew over the freaking cuckoo's nest. Who are these people? Okay, moving along. Let me go to right here. Seiko Carmona sent me this. Anthony Pompliano, the Bitcoin marketing machine is really working hard the marketing department is really working hard to keep the brand recognition out there. The Bitcoin car that is racing in the Indy 500 this weekend will be starting in the front row. I'm sure they paid extra to have it in the front row so that you can associate speed with something that's very slow and very expensive. But it's working for them, or it has to this point. They kind of backfired the last couple of weeks. Now, what I love doing is putting what I'm about to show you against the backdrop of a Bitcoin race car or a Bitcoin pizza box, which is this from Genie. Goldman Sachs, check it out. So this is when Ripple hired the Goldman Sachs FX executive, okay? And then we have this. This is his name, to serve as senior manager of global institutional markets team. I don't even know how to say his name. Previously spent 7 years at Goldman Sachs, global FX and emerging markets. And then we had Brianna Madigan, former Goldman executive Brianna Madigan, to serve as vice president, head of institutional markets. And then we have this. So here's that guy from Goldman. And then we've got this. This is from that slide. I think I showed this to you this morning. G7 central banks. And then this guy tweets out, All G7 agreed and signed. Goldman gold standard is back. IMF looking for suitable timing for the announcement. Gold will kill the Fed. XRP will trigger a new paradigm. I have no idea where this person is getting this stuff, but I like it, okay? And then he's retweeting this XRP Darren. By the way, this guy is a definite, both these guys are definite follows. At REB0RN13, and then Darren is at Fame21More, and he has a YouTube channel, Darren Moore. I think it goes by Darren Moore YouTube channel. Good stuff. But he's the one that tweeted out the Goldman Sachs PDF showing Ripple as a global settlement network. And then there was this from Jack the Rippler, another good follow. Boom. Central banking 5/18/2021 XRP will be used as a bridge currency for CBDCs. So just as I show you this, think about the Bitcoin pizza box marketing campaign and the race car. Cross-border payments, and you can see, we've seen these diagrams a lot, but if you look down, new forms of cross-border and cross-currency settlement, and you look down here, it says alternative connectivity services, Ripple Connect, response by Swift with GPI, use of crypto assets as a bridge currency, Ripple liquidity, alternatives based on DLT CLS net. Does my son need to draw you a picture, folks? And then there's this. Listen to the words that she uses. This is Lael Brainerd from the Federal Reserve. She's the Federal Reserve. I can't remember her exact. Let's see what it says here. It just says Federal Reserve Board. Tell me, just when you listen to this, just think, where have I heard all these words and phrases for the last 3 years?
Yes, the issuance of a CBDC in one jurisdiction, particularly to the extent that it's designed for prominent use in cross-border payments, that does potentially have significant effects across the globe. And so it is very important for us to follow many central banks' progress on CBDC closely, including China. And of course, given that potential for CBDCs to gain prominence in cross-border payments, it's absolutely critical for the United States to be at the table in the development of any cross-border standards. We are at the table today in a variety of international fora, and given the dollar's important role globally, we do believe that the United States has to remain on the frontier of research and policy development on CBDCs. And so that is, in my thinking, a very important consideration.
All right. And against that backdrop, just wanted to remind you, this is when Ripple did the article, Piloting Private Ledger for Central Banks Launching CBDCs, March 3rd, 2021. And they've got, this is about them creating these private ledgers for central banks to eventually ultimately connect. All right. And then here's the market. XRP's up 30%, folks, 31%. And then we've got, what's Stellar doing? Stellar's up 51% on the day. And I did buy Stellar in the dip, so I'm excited about that. Now, I like this. Every once in a while, you'll see someone that's a Bitcoin person. You look in their description that normally tells you. So that's a Bitcoin maxi flag right there. When you see this lady, I'm not sure who this is, but she's got 92,000 followers. So I'm assuming she knows what she's talking about. XRP right now, I'm loading up. We're on the long-term support. Wish me luck. I like it when you see these Bitcoin maxis loading up on Bitcoin. Now, I mean loading up on XRP. Now, this is Ray Dalio. Today, they started Consensus, and it's virtual this year. And there's a couple of video clips that I wanted to play. This is one of them where Ray Dalio is talking about how he has some Bitcoin.
This year, we've seen institutions like yours. I mean, I don't know whether you guys have actually bought any Bitcoin, but I certainly know that you're interested in it. We've certainly
I have some Bitcoin.
So we've certainly got a number of these big institutions now buying into that.
All right. So he's got some Bitcoin, okay? I bet you he's got some XRP too. And here's another clip from him.
Yeah, I think Bitcoin's greatest risk is its success. As it becomes a bigger deal and more of a threat, let's say people want to sell their bonds and they want to buy Bitcoin. and they want to do that in a bigger way, like buying gold or something in a bigger way, and then there's more transaction, they lose control over that. And that's an existential risk. So yes, that's connected. The more we create savings in it, the more you might say, I'd rather have Bitcoin than the bond. Personally, I'd rather have Bitcoin than a bond.
I bet he'd rather have XRP than all the above, but you can't talk about XRP though. Okay, Crypto Dim sent me this, and this is a legit point. I saw someone else post this. This is great, Gatsby. Saw someone else post this, but forgot who, so I apologize for not giving credit. But can anyone explain why Jed isn't being sued by the SEC? That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense considering XLM was founded the exact same way, and he's been selling XRP from creation too. Well, I think the great Gatsby's hitting on something, but there's a bigger picture here. Jed McCaleb is not only not being sued by the SEC, Jed McCaleb has gotten off scot-free at every turn. Remember, Jed McCaleb was the guy that started Mt. Gox. Then all of a sudden, I've always thought it was interesting that Jed McCaleb sold Mt. Gox right in the middle of, I mean, it was all a frenzy back then. Bitcoin and all, it was a frenzy back then, probably even more so than now. It was a frenzy of people getting on Mt. Gox. It was the only show in town. I've not known too many people that have sold their company in the very height of, I mean, I just, to me, it was always crazy. Here he was at the very beginning of this huge industry that's coming, and he decided that he just wanted to just go ahead and sell. And then the guy that buys it from them ends up almost going to jail. I mean, and then so Jed McCaleb's not touched on that. He goes off to Ripple. He's never touched. This guy always just happens to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of the law. And I don't think that's a coincidence, folks. If you go back and start tracing all the different personalities in this thing from Mt. Gox to today, and there's a lot of them. It's almost like some people got some free passes. If I didn't know better, maybe that's what could have happened. Okay, and then I saw this from Zero Hedge. Is this where Dalio will announce the Bridgewater's Bitcoin holdings? And it's talking about his keynote speaker, or XRP holdings. Well, let me tell you what happened to me. You know, I get all sorts of emails on this channel. I get all sorts of communications and all sorts of people that proclaim to be this and proclaim to be that. So what I'm about to tell you, maybe there was nothing to it. But about a year and a half ago, someone emailed me out of nowhere, and they said my company is a very large company, and I don't know who this was. I wouldn't even know how to find the email. They said, I'm with one of the most prominent financial institutions in the world, and they said, I've attached 2 pictures if you want to try to figure out what company it is, but we are looking at XRP. And it was a picture of a bridge and a picture of water. Now, that person could have been totally full of crap, and maybe there was absolutely nothing to that. But that's a true story. I did receive that email, and I immediately knew who they were talking about. Okay, Tom Lee is predicting a $100,000 Bitcoin this year. Listen to this.
Tom, how do you think cryptos, and I'm lumping Bitcoin in there. I know that there's a lot of diversity within crypto. How do you think cryptos perform in a down market? And you know the kind I'm talking about, when there's not a lot of day trading going on, individuals are out of the game, stocks are unpopular, people turn to things like real estate. I mean, does all of crypto get liquidated under a scenario like that and revalued? What should people prepare for?
John, absolutely. On a risk-off market, just like March 2020, crypto doesn't survive that, because liquidity is being withdrawn and people need to raise cash, and they might have margin calls in their fiat side. But that doesn't make crypto unattractive. It's the same reason people say stocks never underperform.
They've got Dog Coin on CNBC Litecoin and Dogcoin, and no XRP showing on there. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This is a finance embarrassment for CNBC. This is straight embarrassing. I could literally go on CNBC just with the pictures of what the people at Ripple, just with pictures of the meetings that they've been in over the course of the last 3 years, and make those people look like the biggest fools on the planet just by showing them the pictures. Say, you guys are covering a freaking, sorry, I dropped something. You guys are covering a freaking dog that was just created as a joke. And instead of the one, what is wrong with you people? And anytime Anthony Pompliano wakes up on the right side of the bed, they'll have him on to talk about Bitcoin when it's a joke. And he knows it. That's why he would not answer that question. When Julia Chatterley said, doesn't XRP already solve these problems? He wouldn't even answer it because he can't. I'm telling you, when these history books are written, you're going to see, it's going to be like the end of the movie Usual Suspects, where all of a sudden you realize, what just happened?
Over a 20-year period, you have to wait 20 years for stocks to beat bonds. In crypto and Bitcoin, you never really had to own Bitcoin more than 24 months to actually never lose money. So I think Bitcoin is hyper volatile. That's the nature of it, but that's what creates the reward for people. And again, even though Bitcoin is in the penalty box now, I still think it can exit the year over 100,000.
I think it could too, folks. For all Bitcoin's faults, I think the marketing machine, the Bitcoin marketing machine, could easily make that happen with their race cars and paying for the #1 starting position and pizza boxes and all kinds of stuff. Okay, on CNBC, new for subscribers, Goldman starts Coinbase with buy rating and says the stock can jump more than 30%. This reminds me of the .com boom. They are starting to gear up to make this one big marketing machine, and before this is over, the cab drivers will be talking about all the digital assets and the blockchain companies that they are buying. I want to remind everybody that they're still doing this, where you can get 6 months free if you transfer your Bitcoin crypto IRA in kind to iTrustCapital. So go in the description of my video, and I've got links where you can go to iTrustCapital and you can contact these guys. And if you've got an in-kind transfer of an IRA, you can get 6 months free. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I believe that XRP is going to $100 and beyond. That's what I believe, and I stand by it. Thanks.